100,000 jobs gone. The Volkswagen empire is being dismantled. In 1937, Adolf Hitler commissioned a car for the German people. Affordable, reliable, built for the masses. He called it Volkswagen, the people's car. By 2015, Volkswagen was the largest automaker on Earth. 11 million vehicles sold every year. Factories across 6 continents. An empire that defined German engineering for nearly a century. But on July 10, 2026, that empire began to die. Volkswagen announced it was cutting its model lineup in half, closing 4 German plants, eliminating 100,000 jobs. The people's car was abandoning its people. And the empire that had survived world wars, oil crises, and the emissions scandal was finally collapsing. Not from scandal, but from something far more dangerous. A Chinese competitor that had learned to build better cars, cheaper, faster. Volkswagen's story begins in the ruins of post-war Germany. In 1945, the British Army took control of the bombed-out Volkswagen factory in Wolfsburg. The plant was rubble. The workers were starving. The British officers recommended demolishing the entire operation. One officer disagreed. Major Ivan Hirst saw potential in the strange, rounded car sitting in the debris. He restarted production. He shipped Beetles to Allied forces. He turned a Nazi project into a symbol of German reconstruction. By the 1960s, the Beetle had become the best-selling car in history. 10 million units. 20 million. The people's car had conquered the world. But Volkswagen wasn't just one car. It was an empire of brands. Audi, Porsche, Lamborghini, Bentley, Bugatti, Ducati, Seat, Skoda. Volkswagen Group became a holding company that owned the most prestigious names in automotive history. The strategy was simple. Build platforms once, sell them across every price point. A Volkswagen Golf shared its underpinnings with an Audi A3, a Seat Leon, a Skoda Octavia. The same parts, the same factories, different badges, different prices, maximum profit. By 2015, Volkswagen sold 11 million vehicles annually. Revenue peaked at 240 billion euros. The Wolfsburg factory alone employed 72,000 people. The empire had never been stronger. And then, in September 2015, it all began to unravel. The Dieselgate scandal didn't kill Volkswagen, but it cracked the foundation. American regulators discovered that Volkswagen had installed defeat devices in 11 million diesel vehicles worldwide, software that detected when the car was being tested and temporarily reduced emissions to pass inspection. On the road, those same cars pumped out 40 times the legal limit of nitrogen oxides. The cost was staggering, 30 billion euros in fines, settlements, and recalls. Executives went to prison. The CEO resigned. But Volkswagen survived. It pivoted to electric vehicles. It announced the ID series, a family of electric cars that would redeem the brand, save the planet, and secure the empire's future. The ID3, the ID4, the ID Buzz. Billions invested. Factories retooled. A promise to the world, Volkswagen would lead the electric revolution. The problem? They were too late, and too expensive, and not good enough. While Volkswagen was still designing its first electric platform, a Chinese company named BYD was already selling millions. BYD, Build Your Dreams, started as a battery manufacturer in 1995. It entered the auto industry in 2003. For 2 decades, it was a joke to Western automakers. Cheap cars for the Chinese domestic market. Nothing to worry about. Then, in 2022, BYD stopped producing internal combustion engines entirely. It went all electric and plug-in hybrid. It verticalized its supply chain, making its own batteries, semiconductors, and electric motors, and it started selling cars in Europe. The price was shocking. A BYD Dolphin, a compact electric hatchback, cost 25,000 euros. The comparable Volkswagen ID3, 35,000 euros. The BYD Seal, a Tesla Model 3 competitor, cost €30,000. The Volkswagen ID.7, €50,000. German engineering, once synonymous with quality and precision, was now synonymous with overpriced and underwhelming. BID sold 4.6 million cars in 2025. It claimed the plug-in hybrid crown in Germany itself. Its chairman, Wang Chuanfu, publicly mocked German automakers. "We are 5 years ahead. The people's car was being outsold by the People's Republic." On July 10, 2026, Volkswagen's management board made a decision that would have been unthinkable 5 years earlier. The company would cut its model lineup by 50%, from over 100 models across all brands to fewer than 50. 4 German plants would close: Dresden, Osnabrück, Zwickau, and the historic Wolfsburg facility would be partially shuttered. 100,000 jobs would be eliminated. Not through attrition, through layoffs, through plant closures, through the end of an era. The Works Council, Volkswagen's powerful labor union, called it a declaration of war. Workers protested outside the Wolfsburg factory. German politicians condemned the betrayal. The state of Lower Saxony, which owns 20% of Volkswagen through a special law, threatened to block the plan. But the numbers were brutal. Volkswagen's operating profit had collapsed by 37%. The brand division, the core Volkswagen badge, was barely breaking even. Chinese sales had plummeted. American tariffs on European cars had closed another market. The empire was bleeding cash, and the only way to stop the bleeding was amputation. Half the empire, gone. Today, Volkswagen is a company at war with itself. The luxury brands, Porsche, Audi, Lamborghini, still print money. They will survive. They may even thrive. But the Volkswagen brand itself, the people's car, is becoming a ghost. A shrinking lineup, closing factories, fading relevance. BYD, meanwhile, is building a factory in Hungary. It will produce 300,000 cars annually, right in the heart of Europe, bypassing tariffs and undercutting Volkswagen on its own soil. The Chinese empire is expanding. The German empire is contracting. And the question that haunts Wolfsburg is this: in 20 years, will anyone still remember that Volkswagen once meant the people's car? Or will it simply mean the empire that used to be? Subscribe to Empire Uncovered for more stories of the rise, dominance, and collapse of corporate empires. Because empires don't always fall from scandal or war. Sometimes they just get outbuilt.